Did you know that most of the oil that ends up inside your chips doesn't get in while they're frying, but at the exact moment you lift them out of the tank? While the food is bubbling away, escaping steam pushes outwards and acts as a shield. The second it cools, that steam condenses and creates a suction effect that drinks up the oil sitting on the surface. That's why a fryer with power to spare, one that claws back the temperature in seconds, is the difference between a crisp chip and a heavy, greasy sponge. Today we're going through the 7 best oil fryers you can actually get hold of in Europe right now, and the links are all in the description. Let's dive in! We're starting with the Cecotec CleanFry at 1.5 liters. The straight answer if you live alone, or there are 2 of you and you'd rather not mount a full operation every time you fancy some croquettes. 1,000 watts over such a small volume means the oil hits working temperature almost before you've finished coating everything, and the thermostat climbs smoothly to 190 degrees. What really separates it from other affordable fryers is the oil cleaner filter, a perforated metal tray that sits under the heating element and catches all the breadcrumbs and loose bits that come off during frying. Once the oil has cooled, you pull the tray out and remove the debris in one go. No sieves and no funnels. The enameled bowl and the filter both go in the dishwasher, so cleaning sorts itself out. It does take up a fair bit of worktop for the volume it offers, so it's built for someone frying small batches who wants everything spotless in 2 minutes. Now, if your problem isn't space but quantity, the picture changes completely. The Aigostar Ushas 30 Hezi packs 2,200 watts into a 3-liter tank, and that figure is the key to everything. When you drop a kilo of frozen chips into oil, you're introducing a frozen mass that sinks the temperature instantly. If the machine hasn't got the muscle to climb back to 170 degrees almost immediately, the food ends up stewing in lukewarm oil and soaking up far more fat. This one recovers through sheer brute force and seals the coating the moment it goes in. The interior is grade 304 stainless steel, the same grade used in professional kitchens, properly resistant to corrosion. And the viewing window in the lid is a treat. You watch the breaded chicken turn golden without lifting anything, without losing heat, and without taking a splash to the wrist. There's no cool zone, so after a heavy session, you'll want to strain the oil so leftover bits don't turn the next batch bitter, though for the value on offer, that little ritual pays for itself many times over. The next one heads in completely the opposite direction. The Jata FR326E measures 28 centimeters long, fits into one of those awkward narrow cupboards, and is built entirely from metal, with a fingerprint-resistant steel shell. Its headline feature is the ceramic interior coating, free of PFOA and PTFE, for anyone who'd rather keep plastic non-stick surfaces out of their kitchen. Ceramic doesn't flake away over the years the way cheap coatings do, and the element is molded underneath the bowl, so the inside surface stays perfectly smooth. 1.3 liters covers side dishes and snacks for 2 people. The bowl doesn't come out, and here's a trick that works brilliantly. Fill the fryer with hot water above the greasy line, add half a glass of vinegar and 3 spoons of bicarbonate of soda, then switch it on briefly at a gentle setting. The fizzing reaction lifts the grease and a cloth finishes the job, designed for someone who puts noble materials and a tiny footprint above the convenience of dishwasher parts. And now comes the one I think is the cleverest piece of design on the whole list. The Taurus Professional 2 Plus solves the chronic problem of home frying with a solution borrowed straight from commercial kitchens, a genuine cool zone. Rather than heating from the base, it mounts a tubular element submerged in the oil and raised a couple of centimeters above the bottom. Heat rises by convection, so the oil above the element works away at 190 degrees, while the layer underneath stays dozens of degrees cooler. So what happens to the crumbs, the scraps of batter, and the coating that breaks away? They sink into that cool layer and stay there without burning. That keeps the oil from darkening, smoking early, and carrying flavors across. Fry hake on Friday, and Saturday's chips won't taste of the sea. On top of that, there's a second fine mesh basket resting on the bottom. Once everything is cold, you lift it and remove all the accumulated debris in a single movement. 1,700 watts across 2 liters make it seriously quick, and everything comes apart bar the control head, which appreciates being clicked into place gently. You fry with the lid off so the vapors can escape properly. If the Taurus is precision in a compact body, this next one is pure muscle. The Tefal Filtra Pro Premium, the R5160, brings 4 liters of oil together with 2,400 watts and becomes a thermal reservoir that's very hard to knock off course. At a birthday party at home, with a tray of squid, another of nuggets and the wings waiting their turn, a small fryer collapses. It stops bubbling and hands you soggy food. This one barely flinches and returns to temperature in seconds, so the crust forms instantly and the inside stays juicy. The digital panel with its timer nails the exact moment without you watching the clock, which you appreciate enormously with guests in the house. Its patented filter mesh sits on the bottom and hauls up through the oil on an insulated handle, sifting out impurities without decanting 4 liters into anything. This is the premium pick of the video, and it demands a permanent spot in the kitchen, so it's ideal if you fry often and refuse to trade performance for size. What if you need that family volume without spending as much? That's where the Bestron AF357B comes in, and to me it's the smartest balance on the list. 2,000 watts across 3.5 liters let it turn out a full kilo of chips in one load, which solves the classic batch problem. While you fry the second lot, the first has already gone lukewarm. The striking part is that it includes genuine cool zone technology with a submerged element, something you almost never see at this end of the market. It's essentially the Taurus philosophy scaled up to a family format at an entry-level outlay. The inner tray is enameled metal rather than polymer nonstick, and that baked glass enamel shrugs off scratches and years of dishwasher cycles without peeling. It's a rustic machine. No timer and no buzzer, perfect if you want something simple that works and lasts. The painted exterior marks more easily than bare stainless, so give it its own spot and don't use it as a pan rest. We finish with the smallest and quite possibly the shrewdest of them all. The Moulinex Mini Frito manages to fry up to 600 grams of food using just 1 liter of oil, and that ratio is a small miracle of thermal engineering, 1,000 watts inside a well-insulated spherical body that preheats in no time. Think of a Friday night in a small flat, craving pastries or churros with absolutely no intention of buying, storing, and eventually disposing of 3 liters of oil. That's exactly its territory. It has an adjustable thermostat, a viewing window, and a metal filter in the lid, and storing it is effortless. The bowl is fixed, same as the Jata, so emptying it means tipping the whole appliance. The hot water trick with lemon and vinegar leaves the inside clean in minutes. If the Cecotec gives you the easiest cleaning of the group, this gives you the lowest oil bill by a distance. Time for the roundup. If you live alone, or there are 2 of you and you want quick, fuss-free cleaning, the Cecotec CleanFry with its oil cleaner tray is your pick. If you cook rarely, but want first-rate materials and a fryer that tucks into any corner, the Jata with its PFOA and PTFE-free ceramic. For minimum oil use and spontaneous snacks in a small flat, the Moulinex Mini Frito has no rival. If you fry often and want the oil to genuinely last without mixing flavors, the Taurus Professional 2 Plus and its real cool zone is the best decision in this video. When you're dealing with big loads of frozen food and want brute force at a keen price, the Aigostar Ushas. For a large family after volume with a cool zone and no budget blowout, the Bestron. And if you fry almost daily, entertain guests, and want digital control with instant recovery, the Tefal Filtra Pro Premium is the step up. One closing note, frying around 170 degrees is the recommendation. Pull the chips out at a light golden color and keep the oil covered and away from light. All the links are in the description with current prices. Tell me in the comments which one you went for and what you're frying first.